Welcome to the Wandcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Harry Potter series with a transfigured craft brew on the side. I am Aaron, and I am here with my two favorite Hufflepuffs, Jade and Nate. Hello!
Hello!
Hi!
On this episode, we are admitting our way through Chapter 19 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Servant of Lord Voldemort.
Like we're letting ourselves in, or we're admitting something?
So, yeah, I'm kind of realizing now that the grammar's not 100% there on this one. Because it's more like we're admitting to Chapter 19 would be a little bit more accurate, potentially.
Welcome to the Wandcast, the podcast confessional.
But
Wait,
yeah,
are you about to tell us you didn't read the chapter for book club? Because, like, there's only one rule here, and that's you have to read the chapter for book club. Yeah.
No, I read the chapter a few times. It's more like I didn't maybe necessarily reread the intro more than once. But anyway, on this episode, we are going to be with Harry as he learns a valuable lesson about leaving your shit unattended. But he also learns that the power of friendship can make spells stronger than intended.
Of course.
Black explains how he found out that Scabbers was actually Pettigrew, and Harry makes a decision that I think very few would do.
Agreed.
Yeah.
100% agreed. We'll get there, but agreed. Aaron? Agreed.
Wow, lots of feeling. There's lots of feeling in this room.
Yeah, it sounds like you have thoughts and feelings.
Harry does a dumb thing, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Well, I also can't wait to talk about it. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder of where we left off. On the last chapter, Lupin was explaining to the trio what happened between Snape and the Marauders all those years ago, and then Snape revealed that he was in the room under the invisibility cloak the whole time.
Of course he was. The last guy you want to pop out of anywhere, and he gets the cloak.
I'm surprised I couldn't smell his greasy hair.
The door opens by itself, and then just like 5 minutes later, there's like Lupin especially.
Yeah.
It's just like
that?
someone else is in here.
Yeah, they have two dog noses in that fucking room.
I think there's someone. I think Snape's in here.
I love how in that tense moment, somebody's just going to stop and go, "Did you just rip ass?"
Yeah, Black just stops Lupin for a second. Like, Remus, was that you?
Did the air just get filmy? Weird.
Well, look, I think there's a lot of potential room for comedy there, but unfortunately, this is not a funny moment at all because Snape is like super not happy.
Okay.
To put it lightly,
Okay.
He is super not lightly, or
He's
super not
going
happy.
Super Snaping. I'm working
Oh
on it.
my gosh. I can't with this.
Dragon Ball Z fans will love that one.
I
Or
don't
not. Actually, you know what? Probably not.
I don't know if they'll love it, but I like it a lot. So Snape has revealed himself. He was underneath the invisibility cloak because
All I can picture is Buffalo Bill.
Reveals himself. Oh.
you know what? Again, maybe we could have reviewed certain words that were used in these notes.
I'm sorry. I'm going to shut up and let you read notes now. But I'm having a lot of fun.
The reason he was able to reveal himself in such a manner was because he saw the Marauders map on Lupin's desk, open, unwiped. And I think this is an important moment for us just to really drive the point home that maybe we don't leave super powerful magical shit just laying around.
Yeah.
Shit that you made and that has stayed a secret from the general populace for this long because of general secrecy.
Yeah.
And the no need for it with this map, but you just like left it laying around when you knew Snape was coming to your fucking office? Are you serious?
And
Are you serious?
and the cloak. the cloak was just left at the somewhere near the base of the Whomping Willow, so Snape just picked that up
well,
too.
Harry's an idiot. We know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm saying for both of them,
you leave
don't
the map
leave
out.
shit
You leave
out.
the cloak. We've talked about this. It was a few episodes ago. There are certain things that you would just never not have on your person. These would be those things. These are your tools right now that you're using to like see your ends done. Why the fuck would you leave the map anywhere? Why would you leave the cloak? Like,
if I'm at Hogwarts, wand, cloak, map, always on my person.
exactly, at
Always.
all times.
This is like the third or fourth time that he's abandoned his cloak somewhere.
Yeah.
And then not like he's had to have it retrieved for him multiple times. Like every time he's done it, he has never gone back and gone like, oh shit, I did leave my cloak, so I should scurry back there real quick. No, people have to like take care of him and be like, hey, don't lose this again, bud. And then he does.
Yeah, he should be thinking like a prepper. He should have one of those EDCKs where it's just like, these are things, like you said, Aaron, just, I'm sorry, everyday carry kit.
Yeah.
These are just things that you always have. You should never leave them to anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Yeah.
these are things nobody else can be responsible for. This is all on me.
I do want to say a couple times it was like, okay, he didn't want to get caught with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he didn't go back for it at the first fucking opportunity.
Exactly.
And somebody else, like Hermione had to go back and get it the last time. Dumbledore sent it back to him after they did the whole astronomy tour bullshit. Tower bullshit. That's what I meant, not tour.
Astronomy tour, yeah.
It was a Tura tower.
But yeah, no, it's happened multiple times, and he should just be carrying a backpack with a secret pocket or something.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, if you have the map and the cloak, you are, I would argue, invisible. Like 100, like you are ethereal at that point.
Yeah.
You know everyone is around you, and you can't be seen. So like, yeah, it would appear that you can teleport at Hogwarts. Like Ron thought when he first showed up at Honeydukes. He was like, oh, you learned how to apparate. It's like, no, I just have a map and I can be invisible. So it's kind of like apparating. It's just slower.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then Snape turns and thanks Harry for the cloak. Does Harry put his name on the tag on the inside? How did he know it was Harry's cloak?
Well, I think
I think Lupin might have said something in the last chapter about seeing James disappear under the cloak.
there's that, but also, like, you know, Snape has had dealings with Harry's dad. He may have seen this specific cloak somewhere.
Well, and also, Harry has done a couple things that have made Snape a little bit suspicious, up till this point. And he's just gone missing or done some weird shit. So Snape's also probably a little bit like, hey, I've seen you not be somewhere, or I suspected that you were somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't see you. And now I found an invisibility cloak. So, and also my shit with James. James was definitely using this, and he probably did hear, it's all just lining up. He probably heard confirmation from Lupin in the last chapter and was like, yup.
I knew it. I knew it the whole time. I told everyone they wouldn't listen to me.
Yep.
2 + 2 = all you fuckers have been fucking around.
Now, I feel like we've kind of taken Snape's side a little bit here. So I do just want to clarify that the reason this whole thing happened was because Snape went into Lupin's office to bring him the Wolfsbane potion.
Yeah.
Which he for sure still has with him, right?
No, he got distracted. ...
Because of this big reveal, he's able to take Lupin by surprise. He ties him up magically, of course, and threatens to Black. Give me a fucking reason, dude. I will fucking drop you right here. Give me a reason.
Okay, so I've listened to this chapter a total of 3 times now, and 2 of them I could not help but hear Pink's song, Just Give Me a Reason. And it was the weirdest, because of the moments earlier when we're joking about how he's bringing him the potion and Snape says, or Lupin says, thanks, babe. And then the song starts playing. I lost my shit twice.
I can see it.
It was great. But that's fanfic, you could say.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with little fanfic here and there. So with Black wandless and kind of at Snape's mercy here, he agrees that he will come quietly as long as Scabbers goes up to the castle with them.
Yeah.
And then Snape goes, we ain't going to the castle, pal. we just got to get back to the grounds, and I'm going to call the Dementors. They got a little kiss for you. They're going to do a little kissy poo once we get to the grounds.
There's a whole thing happening here where Snape is saying, look, we're not going to the authorities. We're bringing you right back to the jail. Hermione's like, look, what if a mistake has been made here? Let's think about this and come to the actual right answer. If this guy is innocent, then that means a killer is loose somewhere. Let's not ignore that. And Snape is like, shut the fuck up. We're getting the Dementors. This is done. Real quick, I've noticed that I've been saying Dementor, and I don't think that's right. It is Dementor, right?
I mean,
People talk different.
yeah.
It just occurred to me. I was like, am I fucking that word up every time I say it? But yeah, Snape doesn't want to involve anybody like Dumbledore who could say,
Oh, yeah.
hey, let's just pause on this and really figure out what's going on, because then he might not get his way. So Hermione is right to be challenging him so hard. It's Snape, like, look, I know he doesn't like what happened to him, and by all rights, he should be upset with these guys about almost doing that to him. But there's a point of, you're going to put somebody who is innocent back in prison. That's a fucked up thing to do because of your childhood, like, issue.
Do you really think Snape thinks that Sirius Black's an innocent man?
Ooh, that's the question, isn't it? I kind of don't think he cares.
We did bring up that he came in the room, I think, after some of this has been discussed. So I don't think he heard the whole scope of what's going on.
Nothing about Peter Pettigrew.
Right.
That never occurred to me.
Yeah.
I just assumed Snape was it, because that's why the door opening was important when it happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was after all that shit was discussed.
They started
So
talking
if
about
you never
Lupin's
heard
childhood.
that, then
Yeah.
you wouldn't know.
They started talking about stories that Snape already knew after Snape came in the room.
You know what? Hey, point rescinded. Yeah, no, you guys are 100% right. He wouldn't know. He would still totally think he's guilty. Wow, fuck me. Snape is actually being a good guy, kind of.
But he's advocating.
He's just really relishing
He's
it.
not trying, he's trying to put these guys in prison, but also he's trying to make them a shell of a person. So he's like trying to lobotomize these people.
Yeah, that's true.
Before they go to prison without a trial. Yeah, I see, but also no.
Well, and like he even says at one point, back to Hermione as she's talking back, or back to Harry, I believe, is like he says, don't try to, or like don't make me explain the mind of a werewolf. So he's looking at Lupin as like a lesser person.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I can't comprehend why Lupin didn't kill you all year. He's a werewolf. I don't give a fuck. Werewolves are bad. Sirius Black is bad. You two are friends. I know everything I need to know.
Bad plus bad equals only more bad.
Yeah.
So you're all just bad.
I did think it was interesting, the choice of, the way that he calls Hermione a stupid girl. She is objectively known by everyone to not be a stupid girl.
Yeah,
So that's interesting to me, because are you calling her stupid because she's a girl and standing up to you in this moment? Or is it like her actions are stupid? But I get there's like whatever, but she's objectively not stupid. So it seems more, I don't know.
That's why
it seems more gross when he says it.
Yeah, well, that's why when even Hermione is the one, it's specifically her. She's the smart one who doesn't want to get in trouble. If she's like, wait, hang on, the bad guy may not actually be the bad guy, it means she's onto something. It's just like Hagrid saying, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. That means that's important.
Snape even said, at one point, he even says, for once in your life, shut your mouth. But Hermione can be annoying to the point that she won't shut the fuck up. So when stuff is intense, I can see where Snape is like, I am an adult. You're a 13-year-old girl. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Let the adults talk.
That's what it is.
The 13-year-old girl helps to take over the situation, though, because it turns out Hermione, along with Ron and Harry, all had the same idea at the same time. All three of them disarm Snape, and he gets knocked the fuck out. Yeah, they did it a little bit more. There was three of them. You got to hit three of them all
I think that just, I don't know what that'll do.
Only one way to find out. Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus, Expelliarmus. Yeah, it probably sounded like that.
That was 4. I fucked up.
Now, is this because that there are 3 separate casters? Or is it because that there are 3 wands? Does it matter that there's 3 people? Is it just that there's 3 wands? And is the resulting spell not Expelliarmus, but Tripelliarmus?
Now, okay, that's weird. The first question, we have never in the series seen anybody dual wield. And we know that if it's not your wand, it doesn't work that well for you. So the second wand would objectively not work that well no matter what, but we've never seen it. So I'm assuming that there's something with that they can't dual wield. So I'm thinking it's 3 separate people.
I'm reminded of Boondock Saints when Smecker is figuring out the porn house scene, and he's just like, good shooting, shitty shooting. That's why.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I can't focus on more than one thing at once most of the time anyways. Casting 2 spells at once? Or do you have to say, like, because you can only do 1 at a time anyways with your mouth? So maybe that's
would it
why.
Count for both?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Magic rules are weird in Harry Potter.
Like a lot of other things, the answer is because magic, But like, I want to know.
You're going to end up in another diagonally situation.
If I was Harry or Hermione or Ron in this situation, especially Hermione, I am looking this the fuck up as soon as we get back to school. I would immediately be like, wait, 3 wands all at one time increases a spell. Can I add a wand? Does it exponentially increase? Is it an additive increase? What's happening?
It's Ghostbusters rules, guys. They cross the streams.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you hit somebody multiple times with one thing, like it's like if you punch somebody 3 times or shoot somebody 3 times with one gun or 3 different guns, it's just like if he got shot by the same person 3 times. Yes, it exponentially makes it better, but
that's me. Like I'm
stronger. But
if I'm Harry and I have gold, I am just calling Ollivander and saying, "Send me 3 more wands and a roll of spellotape."
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's
binding them together. So. You're making super gun is what you're doing.
I want a wand machine gun.
Jade, I think, almost went back to Boondock Saints again with the old man. 1 guy, 6 guns.
Yeah.
Just walking down the street, dropping them as they're... No, I think, but if you're dual wielding, you gotta... The movement being in tune would be the thing, but your mouth says the word, and if you have 2 wands, then they would just both go at the same time. So you could still only do 1 spell at a time, right? But it should be twice as strong. The target, whatever's being hit by it, is the key. You got 10 wands on something. Isn't it a times 10 effect if they all hit the same target?
I'm just going to say later in the books, we have some more wand stuff that I'm going to definitely need to, like, we're going to come back to this.
Oh, yeah. We're 100% coming back to this.
There's stuff. I do just want to real quick say it's surprising to me that all 3 of them chose Expelliarmus. We know that is Harry's, like, signature bullshit.
Yeah.
But Hermione... traditionally does a ton of different spells.
Yeah.
Petrificus Totalis is one that comes to mind that I think would be a great option for this choice, this moment.
The spell that got used once and then we never saw it get used again.
It's a body bind spell. Why the
Yeah.
fuck didn't we body bind Snape when we came in the room, or why didn't he body bind the kids?
What's also great is
so he could talk to him.
You know who taught Harry Expelliarmus? Snape.
Oh, using his own medicine against him.
Karma, bitch. And I think, I am pretty happy celebrating this karmaic comeback here.
Oh,
Hermione,
that was good.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Hermione is also very concerned about attacking a teacher, and there's just kind of a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
I think that I would maybe like to just calm down and take a quick little beer break. Get our bearings a little bit now that Snape's knocked out and, not a problem at the moment. And just do a little whoosah and, get our bearings right.
Little goose rabba.
Yeah, so we are going to take a quick break. And we'll be back right after this. Nate, what are we drinking today?
Today we are drinking Scotty Karate.
Oh.
Gotta do it. Sorry, can't help it. Scotty Karate Now I lost my place on the can. Is a local one-man band who plays an amazing slurry of honky-tonk influenced punk country songs. That's the character on the can, and he is wild.
Hey.
Yes.
Really fast. Really, really fast. Like layman's termed. What makes you a one-man band and not just like a solo artist?
Because you do multiple shit at once. I feel like that's the requirement. You got like the drum foot. He's got the drum on his feet, and he's pretty much playing he's got the drums and the banjo, and he's doing a whole bunch of instruments.
Solo artist, solo instrument.
He's a whole
one-man
he is
band.
a one-man band.
He's a whole band in a box. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Band in a box. Scotty Karate is brewed with cherry wood. That's right, I forgot. Fuck, I forgot. He's gonna come chop me now.
Who's going to come chop you?
I better drink the beer to keep me safe.
Who's going to come chop you?
Scotty Karate. Holy fuck. I lost my place again. It's very tiny letters. Cherrywood smoked malt instead of the traditional peat smoked malt, offering up warming notes of coffee, caramel, and caramelized brown sugar.
Was there a percentage?
Oh, this beer clocks in at 9.75%. Holy shit, that was a whole bunch of numbers. 9.75%.
Holy balls!
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
26 IBU.
Well, I mean, I guess those are all heavy flavor profiles. The caramel, coffee. That's heavy. It's a heavy beer.
Caramelized
It's a heavy
brown
beer.
sugar. Very last note here. Pairs well with spicy food, pungent cheese, and justice for all.
Interesting.
I'm guessing
time,
maybe the
time for a sip, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's not. Yeah, that's 9.75.
See, I feel like
for sure.
I've had it. I've been drinking this whole time, and I thought the first drink it was like a lot, and then after the first drink, it like smoothed out for me. So
I can see
It
that.
got easier to drink as I was drinking it. We'll say me and Nate have been to this brewery. It is great.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. Holy shit, this is from Dark Horse Brewing in Marshall, Michigan. We went and visited some years ago. The town and the brewery, fucking great. There's tons of cool shit to do there too, including the National Magic Museum.
Well, out of 10 magic museums, entry tickets. How many entry tickets to the magic museums out of 10 would you give this beer?
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words. You can just say the numbers.
Four. No, not 4. 7. I'm gonna get it 7 entry tickets.
Oh, okay.
I think it's heavy. I think that when they say caramelized sugar, it needs to be sweeter.
It's really not that sweet.
No.
It's really not that sweet. I don't mind it though, but I was thinking the same thing. I'm right at 7.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely prefer quite a few other beers over this, but I like this.
Listen.
Oh yeah.
I think that you are both you're categorizing it as like any beer, right? This is a Scotch ale, and I've had a handful of Scotch ales, and I will say of the Scotch ales that I've had, I feel like this one is a very flavorful one of those because I feel like they are very standard and they very much so taste very much the same most of the time.
You know what? I will give you that. We have had some Scotch ales that do have a stronger bite. And this is a very smooth finish.
Yeah, and they all seem to taste similar. They're Scotch ales, right? You kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
This one, I felt like it had a little bit more to it. So I am going to give it 8.
Damn.
8
All
wand
righty.
swishes.
8 what?
Wand swishes.
Oh, wand swishes. Okay. I like it. Hey, pretty good beer. I think I'm ready to get back into the book.
Hell yeah.
Maybe right now. And we are back.
Back.
And now it is time to get back to the lore drop that we were so rudely interrupted doing, or that Lupin was kind of in the middle of when Snape revealed himself to these 13-year-old kids.
Wow.
How you use words is important, folks.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Now,
God damn it, Aaron.
Lupin gets untied. We get back to the explanation. And, it's the main question on everyone's mind. Lupin's kind of said how we got to where Lupin and Black and James and Peter are all friends. And kind of, we got to the school days. Now it's time to get to the actual, problem event.
What happened and what's been happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the main question is, how did Black recognize Scabbers as Peter Pettigrew? And he says it's because back in whatever chapter it was, when Fudge says that, he went to Azkaban and Black asked for the newspaper.
He liked to do the crosswords.
Yeah. He saw the photo of the Weasley family on their trip to Egypt and recognized the rat.
Yeah.
Do they got fucking 4K moving photos back in the 90s in the Daily Prophet? Could they zoom in? Is it touchscreen?
The voice actor that did this did such a good job with Sirius Black saying, fudge. I know that was loud, but I kind of picture a Santa Claus-esque or Hagrid, half drunk, super happy that he just got that from Fudge and just being so self-satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
Fudge, Yeah, he gave me the shit. That's all I needed.
He could see that there was a toe missing from his paw and recognized the rat.
Yeah.
I'm picturing that this is a family photo. The photographer's probably 10, 15 feet away, and you can see a rat on a kid's shoulder in such detail that you recognize facial features?
Yeah,
I don't think this is plausible.
That's the explanation, is that I spent so much time with this rat, I could recognize that rat anywhere. And you know what? I have rats. I probably couldn't pick them out of the...
it would be tough.
If you put them with a bunch of other rats that were the same color, I would probably have a hard time.
Now, maybe you would recognize the rat, though, if you were around it for 12 years.
Fucking around all the time. And
maybe.
Yeah.
That's the
thing.
thing,
And it was missing
yeah.
a finger, I guess.
Sleeps in your bed, hides in your pocket. Maybe. But I
Did he
don't know.
sleep in the bed of his friends? I don't think that was a storyline that we knew about.
The reason that it's so recognizable is that the rat is missing a finger or a toe, and we are going to get into that in a little bit.
I was thinking about Ron recognizing Scabbers. I switched to Ron at some point. Now, Lupin does...
That made it so much weirder.
Yeah, no, I was in the wrong. Lupin does state that Scabbers has been with the Weasley family for about 12 years, and Ron doesn't deny it. So in the previous chapters, when we've brought up, at some point, hopefully we get confirmation on this, we do kind of. Lupin's the one who says it. I would prefer if it came from Ron, or Ron would have, nodded or been yeah, I think 12 years is about right.
Oh, yeah.
There's no... Weasley confirmation that that's how long Scabbers has been in the family.
He would have been a year old.
Right, but
So he doesn't know how long. This rat's been around since his whole fucking life, so he doesn't know. Could be 12, could be 15, I don't know.
Right, but I mean, it seems if you were passing down a pet, it would be part of it, hey, this was Percy's, and it was Charlie's before that. Where it would be oh, okay, I've got a time frame, I suppose.
It's a dumb rat. They're just chucking it at each other.
That's true.
I just wonder where they even found the rat.
How did the Weasleys come into possession of the rat?
Good question.
Peter Pettigrew. How did he run into them? Were they looking for a pet and he just stumbled into him in the road and they were oh, this'll work? What the fuck?
That's a backstory I want to know.
If Scabbers is Peter Pettigrew, maybe we'll find out that information later. I don't know. That's my spoiler-free response.
And go, these guys are gonna just ignore me for 12 years. This is gonna be a good house.
Now, we get a little bit of Crookshanks lore action here, because Black starts talking about how Crookshanks is one of the smartest of his kind, which is just a weird way to say he's a smart cat. But he describes...
Is it?
I think so.
I don't...
When you look at a cat, do you go, that's the cutest cat, or that's the cutest one of its kind?
I'm just saying, it might be, but I've always had questions about Crookshanks. And I know, in the lore, if you look it up, he's just a cat. But fuck that cat. There's some weirdness with that cat.
Oh,
I don't know.
We're about to get into it.
So the way that he says the smartest of its kind makes me go, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, is it like a magical cat?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a cat, but what do you mean?
Yeah.
Tabby cat?
Yeah.
Shabby cat? What
Well,
is
no,
it?
Magic cat?
Magic
What?
cat?
Yeah, this was all prompted because they were talking about how Scabbers started looking bad, not when Hermione bought and brought Crookshanks with her, but when Ron got back from Egypt, which is when the news of Black escaping Azkaban came about. And Harry's like, oh shit, Scabbers looked bad at the news of Black's escape, not because of Crookshanks. So, and that's how Crookshanks got brought into this. But yeah, Black says that he's able to talk to Crookshanks, and Crookshanks knew that Scabbers was not a rat. Crookshanks knew something was wrong. Crookshanks was somehow able to tell that Sirius wasn't an actual dog, and they were able to communicate. Does being an animagus allow you some form of animal communication?
I think it's got more to do with the fact that cats have historically been included in the supernatural. Our cat Puck, he sees Weebles. We don't know what the fuck they are, but he stares at them.
Oh, they're there.
And he chases them, and I have no idea what it is. But cats, they can see kind of the other side. So I think also, cats and dogs don't historically get along, but Sirius is a guy. And cats have followed people. People have followed cats throughout history. So I think they were able to form a bond, but I think it's not so much of communication. As a man, he probably couldn't really communicate with Crookshanks, but as a dog, he might have been able to. How? I don't know. Maybe through smell or however animals figure shit out. But the fact that he's able to get this cat, which is a consent creature like cats are, do things for him, help him sneak into Hogwarts, steal the fucking paper with the passwords on it, and all of this specific shit. My guy, if you didn't use magic to do that, you are going to be a billionaire after you explain to the rest of the world how you got a cat to do literally anything for you.
That's what makes me think that they were talking in some way, because how the fuck?
Had to have been.
How in the fuck would he be able to be like, go grab me them passwords? Which also, Neville.
Yeah. Neville's innocent. Leave Neville alone.
He got
Neville
blamed for
did
everything.
Nothing wrong.
And you know what? I gave him just as much shit as everybody else, because get your shit together, Neville, because that's pretty much how it would have gone for me.
Yeah, but here's I don't know how stuff gets reported. I don't know if Dumbledore would ever know that Neville got in trouble for this. And I don't know if Dumbledore will relay events later on. Spoiler, that's a little bit of spoiler for the book, but hopefully Neville got something in return for all this, because he got punished for something he didn't do. In a whole
shafted.
book about how innocent people, or an innocent person, we're discussing right now, might have got put in prison for 12 years. An innocent student was punished for months. He had to stay outside the fucking dorm.
12 years in Azkaban, or being embarrassed in high school. Neville, exact thing.
You get a front row seat for every Quidditch match for the
Fucking
rest of
A.
your Hogwarts career. I'm so sorry. Signed, Professor McGonagall.
This is his villain origin story.
It could be. Absolutely.
100%.
And the other thing about this is that, with the communication thing, I could understand if it was basic information. But somehow Crookshanks was able to relay the fact that Scabbers / Peter, Pabbers, Skeeter.
Wow.
We'll just stick with Scabbers and Peter. Those I didn't care for those.
Skeeter Spaghetti Groove? Nailed it.
Scabbers / Peter
Peter Valentine
apparently faked his death a second time. I'm not sure how a cat communicates that to a dog or a man, but that was communicated between the two. And Harry, this kind of triggers Harry.
That's going on Patreon, I think. What's the game you got to play? Charades?
Charades between a cat
do
and
that in charades. No words, just with your body
Peter
language.
Pettigrew /
that
Scabbers
very
faked his
specific
death.
concept.
I don't hate that idea of us trying to do that.
I have no idea how it would be done.
But this is, Harry's triggered because he goes, oh, yeah, let's talk about the fake death thing. Why did Peter have to fake his death the first time? It's because you keep trying to kill him. Why? And, Lupin does this whole thing of Harry, don't you see? It's the opposite. Sirius tracked Peter down. Peter didn't track Sirius down. But then Harry retorts. Sirius said, quote, I as good as killed them. Don't do this bullshit to a 13-year-old orphan about his dead parents. Did you kill his parents? No. The answer is no.
Yeah.
You did not kill your best friend's orphan son's parents.
Yeah, and look, it comes up later in the chapter when he does explain himself. But like we've talked about this, the doctor coming out of the surgery and being like, I'm sorry, I did everything that I could. And they're like, oh my God, he's dead. He's like, no, he's fine. I was just letting you know.
I did everything I
really
could.
tried my best and he's going to be fine. Fuck you. Don't do that to me. Not right now.
Yeah.
Say what you mean. I can't take this emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. But like, come on, not the time and place, guys. Like, we need to talk fact right now.
I mean, I do think that it is strange that Sirius has gone this entire time with, I mean, granted, maybe not the full story of what happened, because we do get him and Lupin being like, hey, hey, bro, sorry, I thought you, hey, whatever. So there was the question, but he knew he didn't do it.
Yeah.
And he knew he didn't kill those people on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been Peter. So in all the time that you're sitting there in that fucking jail cell, not once do you think to go, hey, I just want to talk to somebody and tell them that Peter fucking Pettigrew is a dirty fucking liar.
Yeah.
And an animagus.
Yeah, and he actually is the one that murdered those people. And even if he's dead, fuck him, and I shouldn't be here.
We talked about this in
Put something on record.
Oh gosh, I think it was only a couple of episodes ago when we're like, hey, if we're doing the White Knight thing and we're going above board and like just trying to let the whole population know exactly what's going on, then this information could have come to light. We are looking for a rat that is missing a toe. And it's extremely important that we find it. This is a magical community. I kind of feel like a declaration or announcement, something like that, would not be like, that's dumb. They'd be like, no, this is could be anything or anyone.
Yeah.
Animagus are a thing. So like
we believe there's an unregistered animagus who takes the form of a rat that doesn't have a toe. That's going to get wizards paying attention to random rats that their kids might find in a field.
Also, Black didn't kill Peter, right? So he knows he didn't make a spell that killed Peter. So he knows that he just got grabbed up after he didn't do anything, right? Peter came up there, started yelling at him, fucking blew up the street and turned into a rat. Snape didn't do shit. So you're literally allowing yourself to be arrested.
Snape or Sirius?
That's what I meant. Sirius. Sirius didn't do anything. He could be like, literally, take my wand.
Yeah.
Check the last spell I did.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo, bingo, bingo.
Hey.
We talked about that in like first fucking book when the accidental magic happened, and then like we can check your shit. They should be able to go back and look. We find out that Pettigrew had a hidden wand, right? But like Sirius's wand should have been clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no gun residue on his hand, and the gun hadn't been fired. Fuck you. Don't take him to prison.
You're just going to sit and stew in silence for fucking 12 years after that?
The
Are
Ministry...
you joking?
The Ministry of Magic CSI team is not very good.
Also,
they're not very good.
Also, Sirius probably knew that motherfucker got an order of Merlin
Oh, yeah.
for whatever he did.
Oh, yeah.
There was no goddamn way I'm sitting in prison.
That you're not spouting your mouth off at every minute?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. His mom doesn't deserve to see that he's a good guy because he's not. He's a lying piece of shit. He's a rat. That's what he is.
Hey, you guys are talking way too much common sense for this magical fantasy series. Okay, we just got to move on, and hopefully nothing else will trigger us to just bitch about people not using common sense.
God damn it.
So anyway, Professor Lupin now says that there's just a harmless spell that could prove that Peter Pettigrew / Scabbers is an animagus. Jesus fucking Christ, guys. Could we not use common sense and just do that from the very beginning then?
About 12 years late there, pal.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been useful a decade ago.
No, as soon as Lupin burst into the room, point your wand at Scabbers and cast the spell.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, just do it. Like, or as soon as you try to explain it to Harry and Ron, don't go into this backstory bullshit. Just go, hey, here's your guy, and Hermione, here's your guys' wands. Now, just real quick, I'm going to say that your pet is an animagus. There is a spell I can form that is completely harmless if it's just a normal rat.
Yeah.
And if it's not a rat, he will turn back into a human. Can I cast this perfectly harmless spell? Start with that next time.
I don't disagree. I think Sirius should have done it right away, but I will say there might be something to the ease and emotional detachment of just being able to snap the neck of a rat or stomp on it. You know what I mean? Like, if it turns into your human friend who used to be your friend, even if you're mad, there's like, he could talk back. There's a whole bunch of other shit. He's a rat right now. I could murder the shit out of that rat.
Yeah, just stomp him.
Yeah.
Just stomp him. So look, they finally get permission. They cast the spell, and sure enough, Peter fucking Pettigrew appears out of what used to be Scabbers.
Your rat
which sounds
has
very
been a
traumatic.
dude the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, it only mentions this once, right? About how offended Ron is at the prospect of his rat actually being a dude.
Yeah.
And I know this is a little bit later, but he's just like, you slept in bed with me, you
sleep
asshole.
with me.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what's the fucking matter with you, man?
You watched me change for 12
Yeah.
years, you
But-
fucking weirdo.
But, I mean, the reason that I wanted to bring this up real quick is that Ron's pet, Scabbers, has effectively died in front of him.
Yeah.
Yes, Scabbers was not Scabbers, but also you did, like, the good times you did have with your pet rat. Maybe it was a dude, so maybe the rat kind of did some cool shit that normal rats couldn't do. Maybe it was a badass rat, but
when
your
he
pet's
bit-
dead now.
Crabs or Goyles, I don't remember his thumb.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
that was him.
still cool.
But that, I would argue, that is the one thing that we have heard that is positive about this rat in the past 3 years. If you're a human who is a rat and you're trying to be a pet and you want to stick around in a family, you should be doing some cool ass shit. You should be contributing a little bit more to the entertainment. Do some tricks. Like, so that when this moment does happen, then they're a little sad. Or mom and dad don't go, you know what? I'm tired of that rat shit all over the place. Get it out. I'm done. I thought it was gonna die after like 2 years. It hasn't died.
It's been too
I'm
long.
fucking done. Okay.
Well, I think half of the charm of a rat is that they're fat. You like your fat little ratty boys
but they can do
to be. Yeah, but you know, our rats, they don't really do much, but we love them very much because of their huge personalities. And like Paul. Paul was a fat guy. He just wanted to steal and hide and eat food, and he was happy. That's all he ever wanted, and we loved him for it.
I know. I'm just saying, if they were also a human being inside there, they should be stepping it up a fucking notch.
That's true, but you also don't want to like give away the fact that you are a magic rat. You're in this happy little area where they're not really sure.
You know what, though? It wouldn't give away that Scabbers was actually a human if he just, just always pooped in a corner, though. Like, he didn't have
That's
to poop
true.
everywhere.
He didn't
He
have
could
to-
have pooped, like...
You motherfucker.
Yeah, like, dude, you could have helped me out a little bit
Just playing
here.
the part, man.
Now, look.
But I was gonna posit that maybe we take a bit of a break.
Oh, yeah.
And raise a glass for Scabbers.
Yeah.
Right? The pet that never actually was.
Yeah.
And
Well-
then when we get back, we can talk about Pettigrew.
Yeah.
The bastard that is.
Well, and he does a lot of begging, and I don't like begging when I'm sober. So I
need to be drunk to hear
That's
begging. It helps.
Weird.
if someone is begging stuff of me, I don't want to be sober for it.
I think
In
this
a
is
very
we need to
weird
go.
way,
We
I
should
kinda
go.
get
I'm gonna
it.
take
No.
a quick little
Let's go to
break.
break.
We'll be back right after this. We are back with this chapter discussion. Peter Pettigrew is fully a man. He has been transformed, figured back into his human form, and he immediately starts begging. He starts asking for Sirius to protect him, or he starts asking Remus to protect him because Sirius is back to try to kill him again, and he knew this was going to happen. And this raises, I do appreciate Lupin in this chapter. He's very inquisitive. Like, he is like, if someone poses a question and he thinks it's a good question, he'll be like, good question, Hermione. Sirius, please tell us how you were able to recognize that Scabbers was Peter.
Yeah, Lupin is 100% the adult in the room right now.
He's doing a pretty good job, because it's Peter says this, and Lupin goes, you knew that Sirius Black was going to break out of Azkaban, something that's never been done before. You knew that, huh?
Yeah, I want to amend that. It's him and Hermione, because she's coming around too. To saying, wait a minute, something is fucky here.
Hermione does pull a little bit of an adult role in these, a lot of the Shrieking Shack scenes.
Probably her better than Lupin, because she doesn't really have a stake in. I mean, she's got a stake in it, but like the old story, what happened back then, and like. You know what I mean? She's the only one that's not directly involved.
She's not biased.
Exactly.
Well, she was the only one who was just trying to get Snape to let them talk. Like, Lupin, after Snape revealed himself, Lupin very quickly called him a fool. Yeah. And then got tied up. And it's like, yeah, that's going to happen.
And then
talk shit,
the story
get tied
from
up.
that point on was all Lupin's side. So who really knows?
So, yeah. And, the question of that comes into, or Sirius Black kind of provides why he thinks that Peter Pettigrew is so scared. And it is because Voldemort's supporters are furious with Peter Pettigrew.
Yeah, he got their fucking leader killed.
On Peter's information, Voldemort met his downfall. And so they want answers. And that's why Peter's been a rat. It's not because of Sirius Black. It's because of Voldemort's supporters.
It's because he's literally a rat. Did they? We know McGonagall is a cat, right? And we know that Lupin is a werewolf, but that's not really the same. He's not an animagus. He's a werewolf. It's different. Sirius Black is a dog. Do you get to pick your animal form, or do you just do the spell and like what you are becomes your animal? So like when Peter became a rat, are his friends looking at him that first time and going, maybe we don't really want you in the friend group, my guy. You are, in fact, a rat.
Interesting you should say that part about the friend group, because I'm going to bring that up like very quickly.
Yeah.
But I think it is that they get to choose, because they talk about like the strategy of why they picked the animals they picked.
Okay.
Like Sirius Sirius and James could help control if Lupin lost control of the wolf, because they are these big giant creatures. Prongs can keep him kind of contained while, Sirius
antlers.
Sirius can do some of the fighting, but Peter is the one who can stop the Whomping Willow, so they can all get into the Shrieking Shack.
He would rogue.
He would transfigure, hit the button, and then they could all go.
He picked his whole and the animal he's going to turn into for his whole life because he can hit that button.
We do also know that
for the next 4 years.
We do also know that he had to get help from James and Sirius, and James and Sirius, bit of pranksters. Anyway, Peter Pettigrew is, or I should say, the Death Eaters, Voldemort's supporters. Obviously, they would be mad with Peter Pettigrew, because once a double crosser, always a double crosser.
Yep.
As soon as you double cross one time, you can never be trusted again. That's kind of the whole point. Is that like, yeah, if you do it once, like once a liar, always a liar. You can't go back to not being a liar.
You fucked over the good guys. They're going to remember that. You also fucked over the bad guys. They are definitely going to remember that.
Even if you didn't fuck over the bad guys, they know that you have a tendency to flip if you need to.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, he's going to flip to whatever side's in power. That's why he's not gone back to Voldemort yet, or gone back. Now, Hermione, as we were kind of saying before, she poses the question of why didn't Peter kill Harry earlier? I mean, if he's been with Ron this whole time, there's so many opportunities where Peter could have killed Harry, the thing that he tried to get Voldemort to do.
Yeah, I mean, we were just kind of talking about that. It's like, if he didn't really have a good reason to, and he is just trying to hide out from everybody right now, like he's not trying to make any statements.
Well,
until maybe it, serves him.
I still don't understand why at this point they're like, because they say he has nothing to gain, right? Why is the question not come up that what did Voldemort have to get? Why was Voldemort trying to kill the baby?
Yeah. That's
What? Is there something that happens if we kill Harry?
the question why does not happen enough. And we don't find, spoiler alert for a couple more books, we don't find out. That question never gets asked. Why were the Potters targeted?
That is a really big thing to leave unanswered.
Yeah, because if Voldemort had a good reason for killing Harry, then other than like jealousy, personal vendetta shit, then maybe there is a benefit to killing Harry because maybe it triggers some shit or whatever.
Turns
I don't
out
know,
Harry's
magic
cool
stuff.
and his kids are fine, but his grandkid
Yeah.
is gonna blow up the world.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
weird
gotta kill him.
genetics thing.
Yeah, it's
Like, who
unfortunate.
knows?
But-
I am gonna be a bad guy, but it's
Yeah.
gonna save the world.
Yeah, but if there's no benefit, we don't know why he was attacking a baby, so why the fuck would I
Yeah.
do it? I don't know what the fuck he was killing him for.
And now it is Sirius Black that says that, clearly the reason is that Peter had nothing to gain by killing Harry because there was no one to reward him. But that is why he stayed with the Weasleys. Now, we don't get any more information of how that actually started. Did he just go to the Weasley farm and then they picked him up and he just became a pet? Did he survive the onslaught from Molly Weasley enough times that he became beloved? But that's why he planted himself with the Weasleys, big wizarding family. Dad works at the ministry. He's in the know.
I was very confused about this until I thought of a pet that we used to have here named Wednesday. Wednesday was a cat that literally jumped onto our open storm door window while we were watching TV one day and just perched in our doorway. And we were like, oh, it's a cat. And then Wednesday stayed for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, you were chosen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
We have our big ass dog too at the time.
Yeah.
Who she was just like, okay.
totally unbothered by. They got along instantly. It was fine. I have reason to suspect that maybe that was an animagus for a little while. But that's how. You need a pet, or you've been thinking about wanting a pet. He's a kid. He's going to Hogwarts, going to need something. And then the family, who we know doesn't have a lot of money, finds this perfectly fine-looking rat, minus a toe, which gives it a little charm.
Little character. Yeah.
Boom. He's in. All he had to do was be seen by the people he wanted to be in with. And I feel like it was kind of a shoo-in.
And I can see where any one of the Weasley, maybe other than the twins, any one of the Weasley children.
Yeah, the twins are a little experimental for them to have a rat.
No, I mean the social factor. The twins have each other. They're always, they're good. But Percy could use a nice little pet that always listens to him and cuddles up to him. So could Ron. I'm sure maybe not Charlie and Bill because they're older. So they were always the older siblings, so it's
went
fine.
For the younger.
But once the family got big, Ginny, obviously Ginny's going to look for social stuff. She's the only girl in this giant family of boys other than her mom. It would make sense why she would start talking to a diary.
Yeah, that's
It would
true.
make sense where Percy would maybe take liking to a random rat that stumbled into his room.
It is also interesting, just based on what we believe about the Weasleys' economic status.
Yeah,
is
that's
that
true.
When they first had the first early kids, when Scabbers actually would have come into the family,
Yeah.
Percy would have only been 3.
Yeah, he was the third. He's the third
So
oldest.
maybe he grabbed a rat and Mrs. Weasley was like, cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
can
more
get its own
likely-
food?
More likely, though, it was one of the older boys.
I think so.
But at
Because
that time,
12 years, Percy would have been very young 12 years ago.
yes. And so, I'm just thinking, when they needed pets, they probably got owls because they still had money. So this rat was probably just like a extra thing hanging out at the house for a couple of years. Maybe.
That, and we know that those older boys were very, very accomplished in their studies and stuff too,
Yeah.
between Quidditch and school. Now, I realize this might just be hindsight, and we can move past real quick if we're all in agreement on this. It really feels like Peter was on the outside looking into this friend group, and it kind of seems like it's one of those where maybe they should have dumped him earlier. But is that just because Black thinks, and Lupin now thinks, that this dude is responsible for their other best friend dying? Do you think it was that interesting of a dynamic when they were kids? Or were they all very good friends and Peter just wasn't as skilled of a wizard. Because now it just seems like there's a lot of animosity and a lot of like, well, of course Peter would do this. He's always been this way. Is that just hindsight?
I think that Neville came off to others in the moment as a Neville type. You know, everyone
Peter came off as a Neville type.
Everyone thought he was sad. Everyone kind of felt bad for him.
He's sad boy 8.
Yeah, they let him hang
So
out
many ribs.
and whatever. And if he was genuinely a good person and just a sad person, it wouldn't be bad. But now knowing that he, you know, just looks out for himself, really, then that puts a different light on all of those choices. You're not just a sad boy. You're also a sad boy who's looking out for your best interest at every possible time.
Yeah.
You're a sad boy.
To the detriment of other people.
Yeah. You're a sad boy because you're also a little bit of a selfish prick.
Yeah. If you weren't so, self-centered, then maybe you wouldn't have been such a sad boy. Maybe you would have found a girlfriend and, not gone and found Voldemort.
Now, this whole question kind of got brought, or, this whole thing got brought up because Black escaped from Azkaban, and Hermione does question it. How were you able to escape? And he says he believes...
that's the thing people should know, I feel like. By the way, security breach if this specific thing is done.
Yeah, hey, Azkaban is an inescapable prison unless you're an unregistered animagus.
Right, exactly.
Then you can go as you please. But
he describes this thing, and I lose my fucking mind. He was like, I was a dog. They don't pick up on dogs. It was fine.
Well,
I just fucking left. Excuse me.
Well, the start of it is that he was able to remain sane this whole time.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
His innocence was a fact. That's not a happy thought. Therefore, it's not something the Dementors could feed on.
And not
it's
something they can make you forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the first time in this chapter, I realized how it works. It's like, you got a good memory, the Dementor takes that from you.
Yeah, they feed on it.
You don't remember that anymore, so it's gone. You can't focus on anything good because all those memories are gone. But the fact that he's innocent, they couldn't take that. So no matter what happens to him in there, he's going to remember that he is innocent.
But that does I feel like that would make me crazy.
Very sad, yeah.
That would drive me nuts. That the only thing I can think about is that I'm innocent. But also, the guy didn't try to help himself at all. He
for
was
a
just
while,
like,
at least.
I know this truth is a fact, and I'm not even gonna mention it to anybody.
Yeah, that's why there are appeals.
Yeah, maybe he was screaming. Maybe he did try to get an appeal, but maybe that just speaks to how bad the Ministry of Magic is.
That's true too.
But now, I do think that this is kind of an example of maybe partitioning your mind. Something that comes up in our other book series.
Oh, yeah.
That Sirius said, no. This is fact. You can't touch this. This is, I'm pointing to my head, which is a good thing to do on a podcast. But this memory right here in this specific part of my head, you can't fucking touch that. Go ahead, touch everything else. Not this one.
This one's
That's
mine.
mine.
The one thing that's going to keep me here is and sane and
Shawshank
good to
rules.
go.
It's Shawshank rules. He maintains his innocence.
Yes.
And then he crawled through a mile of shit to come out clean on the other side.
I just think that the interesting thing to take away from, yes, this is all interesting, right? I want to talk about Dementors at some point in a little side spell episode, but I think that the weird thing is that he turns into an animagus, right?
Yes.
He's in his jail cell.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, wand has been taken.
Yes.
So this is a spell that you are able to cast without a wand?
You apparently do not need a wand to transfigure.
And I feel like maybe we see somebody do something different very shortly. No?
No, we see someone do the exact same thing
Really?
very shortly. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the movie.
Yeah. It's the movie. It's the movie,
McGonagall does it earlier in the book, and she does not use a wand to do it. She transforms into a cat, and the class is like less than enthused. But she doesn't use a wand.
I don't know if we are specifically told if that's wandless or not, but coming up, we get a very specific instance of this person does not have a wand. Spoiler alert for the next chapter. Someone transfigures wandless.
So it's just wild. You don't see very many wandless spells. These kids, we were told this was a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
But they were able to do wandless transformation
maybe that's
by their 5th year.
Maybe that's why it's difficult, is because it's wandless magic.
But that's insane to me. And then,
100%.
And then the question of, okay, so your wand he just doesn't have his wand again? Okay, whatever. We'll get to that eventually because I was always confused about that.
But then the other thing you guys were talking about is basically the Dementors are apparently of a very singular focus, and they only focus on humans. So when he was able to transform, he being Sirius, was able to transform into a dog, the Dementors just saw less human, which is what happens when you are in Azkaban for a long time. You become less human. You go insane.
Yeah, it kind of sounded like your thought process. They can tune into that. And
there's nothing
they
there.
Can see that there's not a lot going on.
No more happy
or at least
thoughts.
Nothing happy.
Yeah.
Right. You're muted, kind of. So they're like, he's sad enough. We can leave him alone. And so they didn't fuck with him, which helped save his fucking brain.
Yeah.
I want to be a dog.
As a dog, he was able to... He was famished enough that he was apparently able to just slip through the bars and escape one day.
See, my brain, I always thought that his brain was so dog-like that they just, didn't even see him anymore.
I think that's what it is.
It didn't raise a red flag or anything because he just walked past them through the hallways and they were just like, oh, nothing's there.
That's an animal.
That's why I'm confused, because as a prison guard, right? If you can't see, but you can feel, and you walk past a cell and there's nothing there, nothing to where if you're a dog, you could sneak past them and they wouldn't notice. We have a missing fucking prisoner, guys.
Hey, I
think that's when they figured out that he was gone, though.
That's red alert.
Eventually somebody went past the cell, or enough of them went past it. Did you?
Well,
the visual of the Dementor backing back up and be like, what?
I wish we had, a short film of Dementors by the water cooler. Hey... Did you walk past Sirius's cell earlier?
They're ripping down the poster in his cell, like, what the fuck?
Now, Black does say that Dementors can't see. So they rely on this, extrasensory thing of
Spidey
some kind.
sense.
I think the problem here is
Sad
that
boy sense.
Dementors are just not well paid. A well-paid good guard will notice if something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But a poorly paid guard who's just there collecting a paycheck, there's something in there. It's one cell and there's one thing in there. Don't give a fuck about anything else.
They all congregated at break time, and we're talking, and we're like, I didn't notice anything in Sirius's cell. Do you think he died? Oh, I didn't notice anything either. We should probably tell someone to go check and see if we have a dead body, right? Yeah,
Turns
okay.
out Sirius Black has been saving all of the crosswords and cutting them out very intricately and making a paper mache paste out of water and toothpaste in creating this form of himself. And then he just put his robe on it, turned into a dog, and disappeared through the hole behind his poster.
So you think he used a body double of sorts to escape from Azkaban?
I'd like to think he did.
Interesting. You should suggest something like that. That's all I'm going to say for now.
I think our super secure prison isn't that secure if people could potentially use a body double or, turn into an animal. I feel like maybe we should have some guards with eyeballs.
Yeah.
that would
probably useful.
solve the problem.
Yeah, probably useful.
Guards. We can use the Dementors. Also have guards with eyeballs.
Yeah,
though, maybe.
one or two.
Something. Yeah.
Goblins or something.
Yeah,
stick somebody there.
someone will take it. Now, all of these discussions and all of these questions do lead to the big moment, and that is
climax.
Lupin. That is Lupin in Black with their wands in their hands pointed at Peter as we climax.
God damn it, both of you.
And Sirius, I believe it is Sirius Black that makes the accusation. You killed the Potters. Do you deny it? And Wormtail, in a roundabout way, does eventually admit. He says he didn't have a choice. Voldemort was taken over. What else was he supposed to do?
Yeah.
And both Black and Lupin are just like, you should have died. You should have let him kill you.
Yeah, when it came down to betraying your friend or having the evil lord kill you, you fucking die for your friend because you're friends. You asshole.
Yeah, he says to them, or he says to Harry, James would have understood. And I was like, oh, he would have understood you killing him, his wife, and his baby?
Tried to kill his baby? Nah, he wouldn't understand.
Not picturing that conversation between you going very well.
I don't think that would have been a great thing. I think he would have been a little upset. Also, this whole thing is just confusing. The fact that Peter became the secret keeper at the 11th hour when there is rumors of a spy in your midst. Also, the fact that you trust your best friends implicitly so you don't believe anybody would be, but also you don't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because if you just trusted your friends, you wouldn't have to change secret keepers.
Right.
I get the idea that, like, from a threat standpoint, if you're going after someone and you find out they're using a secret keeper, yeah, go after the strongest friend, which would have been Sirius Black.
Exactly.
So, like, I get
The
Black's
guy with the
thought
most
process. I get the thought process, but also, if you know that your best friend is not going to give you up, I would argue you just keep them the secret keeper and you hope that he does the right thing, like the thing he signed up for.
Or go to Lupin. Why is Lupin not in party? Like, why did we go to Peter over Lupin?
I do wonder if the werewolf status might have played into them not
so they're
fully
racist
trusting
too.
Lupin. It's hard to tell.
I'm
Bullshit.
thinking what the issue is not the secret, it's the burden.
Oh,
They
yes,
could have
100%.
trusted Black with the burden. They could have trusted Lupin with the burden. And maybe at one point in the past, they thought that they could trust, Wormtail. I don't know why I'm coming up short on his name. Pettigrew, right. They could trust Pettigrew with that. But, then he got this offer from the dark side and it started to wane. And maybe it was just that. It was a lot of pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like Aaron's saying, if you just trust your best friend, that is gonna, he's not gonna give you up. Whereas Peter, he might have been on the outs. They fucked with him. Now he's a rat. And he's a little upset about that. And he switches.
Black does accuse him of feeding Voldemort for at least a year prior, and then nothing really comes of that. So I don't know. Like, that just adds more confusion. But the important part, I think, is that Lupin, the point that Lupin brings up, he tells Peter, if you didn't think Voldemort was going to kill you, you should have realized that Sirius and I would. Like, you were going to die no matter what, dude. You shouldn't have betrayed your friend. It really is.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
Because if there was question about any of your friends, if you thought that it was too much of a burden or that there was a chance that Sirius might flip if he's pushed too hard, go to Dumbledore, who offered in the first place. If you're going to switch it at 11th hour, give it to Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Don't give it to fucking Peter fucking Pettigrew. Like, of all fucking people, it's just crazy. And then for these two for Sirius and Lupin to, in this moment, admit to each other, be like, hey, I thought it was you. And I thought, like, if Peter was actually feeding this for a year, there shouldn't have been that much doubt about your other friends. It should have been fairly fucking obvious which one of them was being shady.
I agree. I would think so. Maybe because the spy was so close to all of them, that's what caused all the distrust, is because it was very personal information. We never get told.
I know that this is victim blamey. I'm just saying that I think it's James's fault.
No one is faultless, I don't think. No one is faultless. The degrees of fault might be different.
There is a lot of gray in this situation.
But Harry steps in and decides that, he thinks that his dad would not have wanted his best friends to become killers for his dad. So he says, hey, let's send Peter to Azkaban. If anyone deserves it, it's him. And I would kind of argue, I think it's probably a more fitting punishment. Keep him alive and let him suffer for the rest of his life.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
The only thing I disagree with is the way that he's like, my dad wouldn't want this. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I feel like if your dad was in this room right now.
Okay.
Harry proves himself wrong because Hermione says something like this earlier, and he says, we don't know what my parents want because they're dead.
Yeah.
So, Harry, you also can't say that then.
Yeah. You didn't know him at all.
Yeah.
Nobody in this room, except two of the people arguing on diametrically opposed sides, have an opinion on what James would have done. Harry fucking least of all.
Yeah. There's three people in that room that knew James Potter.
Yeah.
Harry's not one of them.
Yeah.
Now, and I know I brought this up a few times now, but like I never got to meet my birth dad, right? But now I've heard a bunch of stories about the way he behaved and like the guy he was, and like I don't have any issues with any, it's none of it's bad stuff. But I don't know what he would have done on his day-to-day in any given situation. I don't know him that well. I should not have been his judge. You know what I mean? I'm not. So, like, putting this on Harry is pretty fucked up if you ask me.
Yeah.
And,
I
and
think
granted, that goes either way, either death or prison. That's a tough choice. Me personally, though, kill this motherfucker so fast. You don't even, like, we know. Everybody in the room knows. Everybody also thinks you're dead and gone anyway. So you know what? We're going to take care of this. Harry, you don't have to watch. You can leave if you'd rather, and just know that this situation is now handled.
Mm-hmm.
But we are going to kill this motherfucker. And I genuinely try not to be a violent guy. I like it in movies, and I think it's cool looking sometimes. But, like, really? This guy's going to die, and I'm going to do it.
Oh my God, he is attacking us. I think he's going to kill us.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, whoops, he's dead.
I slipped, and the wand went off
You
in my
all
hand.
saw that. He was gonna kill one of us, maybe, for sure.
I was in fear for my life.
Yeah.
I do think there is one more small piece of information that I think we should get to, which happens in the next chapter. But we are going to talk more about whether or not Peter Pettigrew should have been killed here.
Okay.
Because it's a much deeper conversation, but I think I want to save it for the next chapter. Just because, we get one more little like why Peter going to prison is a good idea. You know, we get that in the next chapter. So let's get to that. Then we'll kind of go over the subject as a whole.
It's probably better to preserve any and all information you can just for when you do go to the courts, then you can actually have a witness. And, you know, it's probably better that way. Murdering him is better, but that's just what I think.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I am glad we have an opportunity to share what we think.
Yes, exactly. And we would also very much like to know what you think. If you would like to let us know if you think Peter Pettigrew should die or be thrown in prison, go ahead and send an owl or off a cliff. Equally good option. We could be imaginative. That's fine. You can send an owl to podcastatt@gmail.com or follow us on any of our social medias. If you really enjoyed this episode, you can go over to patreon.com and sign up for a tier of any amount. And we've got a lot of cool stuff over there. Live episodes, extra episodes. It's fucking awesome.
And more on the way.
Yes, very much more on the way. I would like to thank each and every one of you for listening today, and we will see you real soon.
Bye.
But, you know, we have such a beautiful thing here. And I think it's just fantastic that we get to do this. And I just want to let all you guys know at home, thanks for listening. And we'll see you real soon.